As a teenager, I enjoyed Pokemon, video games, and Magic the Gathering. As an adult, I enjoy virginity, loneliness, and regret. And Magic the Gathering.
It's time for Laughs, and this week we're gathering the funniest comics from all over the country and delivering them directly to your TV. You don't gotta do nothing. Just sit back and enjoy some laughs. Welcome to Laughs, everyone. I'm your host, Trey Elliot, and I bring you the funniest comedians I know right now. Check it out.
I see a lot of happy couples out there. I want you to know I hate your guts. Happy couples make it look easy, and it's not easy. As a single man, it is hard to pick. I am a bad picker. Tell you when I found this out about myself, I took this young lady out to go get something to eat. She really wasn't that cute, so I took her to McDonald's. Now, don't judge me, you didn't see her, okay? You don't know what I had to go through. At the time, my car didn't exist, so she was driving. I'm being honest. We pull up to the drive-thru, very romantic drive-thru, very well lit and everything. She orders her food, the lady couldn't hear. She said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you speak up?" That's all she said to her. This woman went completely nuts for no reason. Started yelling immediately. "How did you get a job? I know your mama don't love you. I said pickles, slut." She went nuts. Then after she gets finished cussing out the McDonald's drive-thru lady, she gonna turn to me talking about, "So Mike, what you wanna get?" Wendy's now, woman. I'm not ordering from this chick.
I live in New York, and I discovered something pretty interesting about New York, which is that we have a jail in New York called Rikers Island. 2 fun facts that I learned about Rikers Island. Number 1, it's an actual island. Like it's surrounded on all sides by water. Fun fact number 2, directly across the water from Rikers Island Correctional Facility is a little joint called LaGuardia International Airport. There's an airport directly across the water from the prison. So if you guys ever want to mess with some people, just go to the airport soaking wet. Go up to the counter and be like, "Excuse me, do you have any flights leaving right now?" I'd love a ticket for one. Also, refresh my memory, how much are plane tickets again? How many cigarettes?
Most of the time, it's just me and my 7-year-old. I have an adorable 7-year-old boy. He is awesome. You should also know that he has autism. And so I want to tell you on behalf of all parents that have a special needs child, they are adorable, they are awesome, we love them. They are great. Awesome. But he is not magic. Because Hollywood has just ruined everything for us. I mean, he's not an excellent driver. He's not winning you any money in Vegas. No. You know, people are always asking me this now. They go, "What's his special thing?" He's 7. Emotionally manipulating me for more popsicles. That's it. He's my first and only child, so I will tell you this. Before I had him, I thought that I'd be one of those hive moms, one of those play date moms, you know. Now I have learned I don't like other parents. Don't. They just make me explain things I'm not ready to explain yet. They make my life all awkward. Like, you know who I can't stand right now? I didn't even know she existed. My least favorite person right now. The string bikini mom. What the hell is wrong with you? I took my kid to the community pool. The community pool were there, and the string bikini mom is hanging out there. She's under a fountain, just like Boeh watching it, you know. The fountain's shaped like a mushroom, crazy person. Who are you trying to impress, the single dads? They're busy with their kid that probably peed in the pool, all right? String bikini mom. You know what you need to wear to the community pool if you're a mom? An appropriate mom-kini. That's what you should wear, a mom-kini. Yeah, where it's a 2-piece, but it looks like a 1-piece. That's what you need to have on. When you're feeling sassy, just a peak on the side. A peak is what you get. A half a stretch mark. That's all, a half. Uno. Or sweatpants like the rest of us that have self-respect, you know. Possibly a wetsuit.
There's a lot more funny where that came from, and it's all on our Facebook page. Find out on facebook.com/laughstv show. Join us. We may accept you or we may not. You're curious, aren't you? Try it. We'll let you know.
When I was a kid, there was this rumor that Walt Disney had his head frozen so he could be brought back at a later time. Yeah, so imagine the horror I felt. My mother told me we were going to see Disney on ice. When I was a kid, I suffered a sports-related injury. I tried talking to my dad while he was watching sports. And, I still have nightmares. I wear camouflage pajamas, so good luck, boogeyman.
If you got a family, you got a family know-it-all too. One guy knows everything. Remember, family, if you don't think your family has a family know-it-all, you're it. It's cool for me, because if I need to know the answer to anything, my uncle will give me the answer. Now, you guys help me with this, all right? A guy wanted to bet me one time that he could drink 32 shots of tequila in 4 hours. You think that could be done? It's just enough to make a wager, isn't it? I didn't know, so I called my uncle to find out. I called him up and said, Uncle, is it humanly possible to drink 32 shots of tequila in 4 hours? He said, call me back in 4 hours. Called him back in 4 hours. I said, well, is it humanly possible? He said, yeah, but your grandma's wasted.
Now, Tyler Boeh has some good news or some terrible news, depending on how you look at it. Let's check in with him at Pachanga.
My wife and I were very excited to announce when we were having a baby. We were very excited to announce the pregnancy. And we caught some of our friends and family off guard because we didn't first announce that we were trying. Yeah, which is like a new thing that people are doing. Have you guys experienced this personally? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a cousin will get up at a Thanksgiving dinner and be like, hey, I want to let everybody know that Kirsten and I are trying. Really? Why don't you try and keep that to yourself? Yeah, that's awkward in front of Nana and the kids and everybody. Yeah. I actually had to have my wife explain to me what trying meant. I didn't know what trying meant. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I know how babies get made. But I didn't know how trying worked, because here's the thing. You spend the majority of your sexually active life trying to not make a baby. Right? Yeah. So when the tables have turned and you're actually going for it, it's like a whole nother thing. I had to get clarification, because I was like, frankly, I've never done it like this before. Yeah. I was like, how does this work? Is this best of 7, 2 out of 3? What are we talking about? My wife was like, no, there's basically like a 2-week window of every month where we could potentially have a baby. And what we're gonna do in the trying phase, we're just gonna do it every day. I was like, that sounds awesome, let's start trying. Yeah. She was really nervous about the trying phase because it took our best friends like 2 years to get pregnant. My wife's like, well, what if it takes us 2 years? I was like, listen, if I gotta have sex with you every day for the next 2 years to make this baby happen, I'm willing to do that. Yeah. It's just the kind of guy I am. So as it worked out, we started trying in May, and we got pregnant in May. Yeah. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at it.
There are more laughs coming up, but we're just getting warmed up. So grab your boo, your baby, and let's get this sexy thing going. We on the sexy train. Look at my sexy day. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Laughs. You know what? I think we've been spending a lot of time together. We know each other pretty well. It's time to get to the grown folk stuff, the freaky stuff. Here's the beautiful Jen Murphy.
I have been drinking too much lately. It's because I tried to get into that relationship and I just became an alcoholic instead. Is that normal? I think I waited too long. I've been single my whole life. Like, you can't wait till almost 40 and be like, I'm gonna be intimate now, right? Like, after just like a series of one-night stands, I'm like, oh, we have to look at each other? Okay, this is all weird. Like, nobody ever told me that relationships are really just like the world's longest staring contest. Because eventually you run out of stuff to talk about. You're like, oh, you're still here? Okay, maybe I can have a drink? No, that'd be cool. I did see a guy recently that was really cute, but when I got closer to him, I noticed, like, he had this huge cross around his neck, and I was just like, that's a red flag, I think. I mean, this thing was, like, really big and, like, bedazzled. I just feel like the bigger the cross, like, the more years spent behind bars. Is that wrong? Because I'm like, why do you need that much faith? I mean, I wear a cross. It's really small. It's like 1 night in jail. DUI. Me and Jesus, we bonded. But you see a guy with a huge cross around his neck, you're like, oh, he killed a bitch. Like something is going on because that thing looks heavy.
So I was talking about the honeymoon before, you guys. As soon as we got back from the honeymoon, you guys, my husband was like, oh, I'm really glad that worked out. I was worried. Right? So I was like, oh my God, well, worried? Like we flew really far, we went halfway around the world, like a lot of flights, I get it, you were worried. And he's like, oh, no. I was worried because it was just gonna be me and you for 2 weeks, alone, 24/7. I'm glad it worked out. Right? I was like, I'm sorry, were you not at the wedding? Right? Like, till death do us part? Right? You can't treat this like a month-to-month thing. Right? This is a marriage, not a gym membership. Right? You know, I was like, listen, buddy, you just got in bed with Verizon. Right? Minimum 2 years until you even think about switching providers. You guys, what I can tell you, that love is not the Cinderella story that I was promised. Like, I was at a show recently, my husband was in the audience, I got off stage, and the waitress came over, and she was like, the gentleman over there sent you this. And I was like, what did he send? Right, champagne? Chocolate-covered strawberries? No, my husband sent me his leftover tater tots. Cold to the touch, hard cheese, leftover tater tots. Right? This isn't a Cinderella story, right? This is like Shrek, right? Like, that's what that is. That's what that is. But somebody from the audience raised their hand and they were like, did you eat the tater tots? I felt like Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men, right? I was like, you're damn right I did.
Now, some of these jokes you might not be able to tell Monday at work, but don't panic. Go to the YouTube page and check it out. youtube.com/LaughsTVShow. You can see full episode, you can catch clips, and subscribe, people. Here's Chet Wild.
I just turned 30. My parents sent me a birthday card this year. Round of applause if you've gotten lottery tickets in your birthday card before. Keep clapping if you won any substantial money. Case in point, right? It's a bogus gift. You get the card, you're like, oh, thanks, Mom and Dad. You open up. Oh, thanks for going to the gas station for my birthday. Scratch off 10 tickets, win nothing. Oh, disappointment wrapped in hope. Happy birthday to me. I shouldn't complain. I actually won $11 in the lottery tickets my grandma sent me. The only problem is I opened the card and the tickets were already pre-scratched. Apparently, she didn't want me to get the big winner.
Laughs will be right back. Welcome back to Laughs. I'm your host, Trey Elliot, and we don't got a lot of time. We about to get straight to it. Here's Stewart Huff.
I think the society that you and I've created is interrupting Mother Nature's job. There's a warning label on cotton balls. I don't want to come off as insensitive. If you cannot navigate the prickly minefield that is a cotton ball, you. Is it, you guys are on board with this? It says do not ingest on cotton balls. Let's just say you eat too many cotton balls. And you become sterile. Good. Why are we warning the stupid people? At one point on this planet, we needed numbers, quantity, right? We had important stuff to run, carnival rides and perfume kiosks. hot-boiled peanut stands, you know. I think we can all agree on one thing. There's a population issue. We have a lot of humans. I think it's time to thin the herd. Let's go for quality for a few hundred years. And I know there's a downside to this idea. We're gonna lose some golden corrals, I understand. I think there should be cotton balls on the buffet at Golden Corral myself. Yeah, you guys agree? No warning label. Big damn basket of cotton balls. With some ranch next to it. Hell, I'd have one or two. They look delicious.
Appreciate this audience. Last week I did a show for a young hip crowd. And by young hip, I mean most of them had their hip replaced in the past 6 months. Pretty sure 2 of them were dead. Either that or they laugh like this. I grew up with nothing but old people. Nothing but. Just my grandparents, my great-grandparents, everybody was alive. I'm Latino. They're like only a couple of years older than me. The one thing I always heard other people say was, oh, you know, your memory starts to go when you get older. Like, the older you get, the more you forget, which is not true because old people remember everything. I remember when I was your age. I remember when automobiles went 45 miles an hour. I remember when the colored kids went to a different school. My friend went with me to this show because he heard there was going to be some, like, cougars, he said. He's like, yeah, I like older chicks. But I'm like, these are older chicks. Like, he's all telling me, he's like, yeah, don't you look like Marilyn Monroe? I'm like, yeah, decomposed, man. He tells me, he's all, bro, you're just jealous. Age is just a number. I'm like, so's an expiration date. I don't get it. Because he's like really young. Like, I'm afraid he's gonna kill one of these ladies in bed. He's a male prostitute. I mean, a personal trainer. And so he's like this really like fit young guy, you know. He's always bugging me to go to his gym. He's like, come on, bro, go to my gym. I don't know if you could tell. I have one ab. And I go to the gym like 4 or 5 days a week, but I just make it like any job ever that I've ever had. I just clock in and make it look like I'm busy. It's hard to work out when there's some dude bugging you like, hey, bro, need a spot? Need a spot? Like, we're in the shower.
There's more comedy to love coming up on Laughs. Welcome back to Laughs. We got the funny, and I got nothing else to say.
Hey, you with the face! Don't turn this channel because I'm coming up with So Then There's This right now. So then, there's this. For 15 years, Jimmy Morales was a popular comic in Guatemala, and now he is president. Don't forget to tip your lobbyists. That's what happens when you lose on Last Comic Standing. They make you go run Guatemala. I'd attend his inaugural, but to be honest with you, I don't want to pay a 2-drink minimum. But I do think this is great, because this is the first time a Guatemalan president has stood in front of a brick wall without a firing squad in front of him. Morales had to campaign hard, because he knew if he didn't win this presidency, he was going to have to go back to host an open mic night at the Guatemalan Chuckle Hut. His economic plan is to sell T-shirts and CDs after his State of the Union address. Funny thing is, his cabinet is Jeff Dunham's trunk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to introduce you to my new vice president, On a Stick. One of Morales' campaign promises was to give every child in Guatemala a cell phone. Every child, really? I didn't realize everyone in Guatemala had power. His health care plan for the nation is laughter, because that's the best medicine and the cheapest. A comic can be president of Guatemala? Who books that? Is that the CIA? He's pro-death penalty and anti-abortion, which, that's hilarious, come on. And if he wants to go back into comedy after this, his first act as president should be just to declare war on Bangkok, because those jokes write themselves. Oh, we're not recording, are we?
Well, all right, guys. Look, that's our show for tonight. I gotta admit, things did get a little weird, right? But I loved it. So, I'm your host, Trey Elliot, and I will see you next week here on Laughs.
It's not me tube, it's not us tube, it's YouTube, okay? Pull your weight. Like and subscribe so I can bring more goodness to your tube. That did not sound right. I am so sorry. I didn't know where I was going with that, and it went to a bad place. Just forget about your tube.